Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and on this video tutorial we're going to make a beautiful embroidery hoop project that has a quote from Esther, the book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 14, that says, "Perhaps you were created for such a time as this." We're going to do it on some canvas duck. I'm going to show you this DIY kit, which is awesome. It comes with everything that you would need, even some little floral things. We're going to create a fun bow. I just have lots of good stuff to show you. So as you are hopping on, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Feel free to sprinkle, all that good stuff. Okay, so I want to start out with one thing. I get this question all the time. I am brand new. I've never stenciled before. I want to try it, but I don't know what I need to get. In that instance, and you can see how non-technical I am, I'm going to actually show you on my iPad. In that instance, where you don't know what you need, but you want to try it, what I really recommend are these DIY kits. And there are, I know it's hard to see, there's a lot of choices. They're all divided by what the surface is, so you can get everything from pillow kits to a blackboard kit to a garland to a tote bag to tea towels to pennant banners. But we're going to be doing this embroidery hoop one that's at the very top center. And what I want to point out is that you choose the kit, the DIY kit, and then you get to choose which stencil you want to go with it. So this particular one has family love. Love is in the air, of all the things, enjoy the little things, fear not, and this Esther verse. And this kit is, let me see, I'll get links when we're all finished in case you want to give it a try. That kit is $26.99, and it has everything, including the fabric. So let's start at the beginning. Okay, so what you're going to get if you order one of those kits, depending on which stencil you choose, you're going to get this embroidery hoop, which is nice and big. You're going to get the stencil that you choose. You're going to get some doodads. You're going to get this piece of muslin, so you can choose, and this piece of canvas duck. You're going to get a little pouch that has the ink for this project, because ink is what you use on fabric. It's just black, and you're going to get a new squeegee. And that's basically what you need to give it a try. So if you're new, you've never tried anything like this, go to my DIY kits page and look through those and select one, something that appeals to you, because you'll have everything all the way down to the medium and the squeegee. All right, so what we are going to do here first is we are going to stencil this piece of muslin that came with it. And I want to tell you one thing. Make sure you iron it, because it's going to come all folded up and crinkly, and it's not going to look good if you don't iron it before you start the project. And this is a brand new stencil. I love this one. There's so many different things you can do with it too. You can do the whole thing. You could do just the pretty little, these look like, I don't know, some kind of pansy or something to me. You could do just the flowers. You could do just the words "for such a time as this." There's lots of different things. Okay, so this is brand spanking new. And the first thing I always do is label the back of it. And I'm just going to put Esther 4. This is the carrier sheet, and I want to make sure that after I clean it, I put it back on the right side. Okay, this is fabric. I probably don't need to fuzz my stencil before I go on fabric, but I just want to show you, for those of you who are new, how do you fuzz a stencil and why? You fuzz a stencil because when you first get them, they are super sticky, and you don't want to stretch it as you're pulling it off of your surface. And also you don't want it to pull anything up off of your surface. So this is a tacky towel that you can fuzz on, but you can also fuzz on something like a pair of jeans, a t-shirt, that kind of thing, something low lift. Okay, and I meant to do something before I did this. I meant to take my embroidery hoop and trace around the outside of it with a pencil, the part that will be hidden, just so I knew kind of where I was going to want my pieces to be. Okay, so it's very light, but I can see it well enough. And with this particular stencil, I think I'm going to have to come back and do the Esther part separately, because I think it will get cut off by the edge. So, okay, so I'm going to remind myself of that. And I'm just going to grab a little piece of masking tape and put it over the top of that part, because I'll need to move that over. Where's the start here? So tell me in the comments. Good morning, Norma. Hey, Dana. Hi, Terry. Tell me in the comments if you like to craft with embroidery hoops. That is one of my things that I do a lot of embroidery hoop crafts, just because I really like them. I think they have a really nice look to them. So I've got my stencil down on my piece of canvas. I'm just making sure that everything is pressed down really good. All right, and this is my coal black ink pouch. I'm gonna squish it a little bit, and then I'm gonna open it up and put a little bit on a paper plate. Whatever is left over, I will probably squeeze into my little jar of black ink. But you can keep these, just tape it closed and put it in a Ziploc baggie until you want to use it next time. And there's definitely enough ink in here to do more than one project. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit out onto my paper plate. And you want, when you're doing this stencil, you really want to make sure that you don't go over and over and over, or that you don't apply too much medium, because this canvas duck is not woven very tight, and it could look super blurry and messy if you have too much ink. So I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on my squeegee, push it through the holes. Come back in just a second to grab whatever excess globs are sitting on here. Let's get those off. Let's do all the words first. I love this verse. Perhaps you were created for such a time as this. Have you ever thought that? I know I have, for sure. Everybody experiences difficulties, hard things in their lives, because we're living on this fallen, broken planet. But there are so many bright spots in between. And the book of Esther is really a pretty short book of the Bible. If you've never read it, you could sit down and read through it in an hour. And oh, it's so good. The story itself is so beautiful. Just what it symbolizes is so fabulous. If you like stories of intrigue, you get that in this book of the Bible. So I would definitely recommend that. In my community Bible study that I'm involved with, we did a whole study on it. It was not very long because it's a short book of the Bible, but it was great. Okay, so now I'm just pulling the big globs off, and I'm going to hold this up so you can kind of see. Oops, I forgot to put something underneath it. See how it's lighter? Let's put this down. I want to try not to get it on my fingers. Let's just pull whatever big globs we have off. I'm using this straight side of the squeegee to do that. Okay, set that aside, and this is what it looks like. Pull up my stencil and hope that it looks good, and it does! Yay! At least so far it does. Oops. I love the flowers on this stencil. Okay, I'm throwing this in my little tub of water over here until I can get out to my kitchen to clean it. I usually do that, especially when I'm working with ink, just so that it can start to soak, and so it makes it a little bit easier to get everything off. Okay, so let's clean this up because I do have a little bit that went through. So be sure that you're protecting your work surface. And if you're doing a tea towel or something, be sure that it's not folded over on top of itself, because it'll look a mess if you stencil through one side to the other. I just want to get all of this up so I don't accidentally get it on my back of my project or any of the ribbon that we're making. So Sharon says she loves it already. Yay! I do love this stencil. It's great. The Faith stencils, and Magnolia has a lot of them. That was the reason why I decided to start working with this company and using their products. And it's been awesome. They keep adding new ones all the time. Okay. That is pretty much cleaned up. And this is what that looks like. Okay, I'm going to get my hairdryer out, and I am going to give it a quick blast or two to speed this along so that we can assemble the whole thing when we're done. I don't have anything that's going to fly away. I did not stencil the birds, no. Okay, I see a question. Why didn't I put the Esther 414 on there? I didn't because I was afraid it was going to fall off the edge when I apply the embroidery hoop. So I will come back when we're pretty much finished, and I'll add the verse probably right down here. So also, I'm a messy crafter, and when I move a stencil that's already got ink on it from one spot to another, I tend to get blobs and smears, and I just want to risk that. Okay, we're going to let this sit for a few minutes. This is what it looks like. Isn't it pretty? Find a spot. I want to remember to show you how to heat set it when we're to that point. Okay, so now let's create a little topper for it. And these came in my little DIY kit. So we'll use a few pieces of this. Let me get my clippers. These will work. I don't know how much I'm going to use, but you can just cut it all apart. Okay, so if you missed the beginning, I was explaining a little bit about why these DIY kits that you can find at magnoliadiy.com are such a good deal. Oh, that just pulled right off. And that is because they have absolutely everything you would need for a whole project. Even the squeegee, even the medium, and even the doodads like this. So this embroidery hoop project comes with the fabric, the hoop, the stencil, everything. Okay, I don't know again how much we'll use of this, but let's just set it off to the side. And then I have not tried this yet, but I want to. Okay, so this is the other piece of fabric that comes in that kit. And it will come folded up. I'm having a crazy hair day. It is so gross in Atlanta today. It's just been a rainy mess. So this is muslin, and it'll come folded up inside the package that your hoop is in. And I ironed mine, but I'm thinking that I want to see if I can tear it to create a bow. Well, yes, you can. So let's get a couple of strips. Okay, and then we're gonna I may just go ahead and turn on my iron. So let me do that, and we'll do a little bit of ironing on it. And while I have the iron out, I'll show you how to heat set ink also. So this would be way too long. My plan is to cut it in half. We'll pull a few of these messy strings out, but this gives your project some texture and interest. And my thought is to put it at the top. When you tear some fabric that's really thin, and this is pretty thin muslin, it wants to really curl up. So we're trying to combat that issue. Okay, so I have two pieces that we can use for part of our bow, and let me show you the heat setting. Okay, when your ink is fully dry, you would take an iron set on cotton, no steam. You would put a piece of parchment paper over your project, and you would just go over and over and over for a few minutes, 3 minutes. You could flip it over and do the opposite side, and then your project would be permanent. So if it was something like tea towels, these have been heat set already. They are washable, dryable, and fully usable. If it was something like an apron, which is a project I'm working on right now, look how cute this is gonna be. That's the pocket. And I have another idea to add to it. Then this apron will be fully washable, dryable, all that good stuff. So it's usable. So that's how you heat set ink. Okay, let's turn the iron off and put it out of the way, and let's come back to our bow for a few minutes. All right, and my thought is that our bow's going to probably go up here. So let's just do kind of a messy crisscross. Cut these strips in half. All right, and then I pulled out a few other things to add to it. I pulled out a little piece of tulle in cream. This project is totally up my alley because everything, well, I'm doing it in creams, and cream is my jam. Let's see, lay that there. It's on top of it. And then I have a little bit of grosgrain ribbon. Put a teeny bit of that in here. I have some miscellaneous bits of different lace ribbons. Let's do this one because it's wider. And we're going to tuck our little doodads in here too. And then this is a piece of lace that I've just cut up and used for another project. Let's take this edge off of it and we'll add it to the back of our stack. Tell me if you're like this. I usually don't throw little bits and pieces of stuff like this away. I have a bag of little things. This one's already cut. Let's just use this. We'll just use, it's not very long. We'll just use one piece in the back. So I'll hang on to all that stuff. Let me get a zip tie. I have got to find some of the little zip ties. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, so Joanne says that she's overcast, but she's headed to Columbia, South Carolina to Myrtle Beach actually, for a couples retreat. That sounds wonderful. Wonderful. What did I want to tell you guys? Oh, that I just keep meaning to get my hands on some smaller zip ties, and then I keep forgetting because these, I think, are too big. They're Dollar Tree zip ties. They are hard to work with. Obviously, can you see me fumbling trying to get it started? Okay, go through here, please. Okay, I'm going to flip my stack over. Hold it down. And there's lots of different crafters out there that make their bows and stuff all different ways. This is just one way that you can do it. And I will trim it all up nice and neat. And we'll pop in some of this little fluff here. So let me just cut it a little bit. Make some dovetails on this piece. So I had somebody asking me this morning, as a matter of fact, what did I recommend if she wanted to try stenciling and she didn't have any supplies and she didn't know what to get. And really, honestly, what I would recommend are these DIY kits, because you can choose exactly the one that appeals to you. It's a great first thing to do. The stencils are reusable many, many, many times, and you get everything that you need. So it's to me, it's so easy. That is definitely what I recommend if you want to try it. And I can give you some suggestions if you want. I think this is a good project right here that we're doing. Okay, where's that other little bit? All right. Ooh, it's hot in my craft room with all these lights. I'm going to turn on my fan. Okay. Another piece of lace wants to totally flop. Okay, so now I need something to cover this. That's the, you know what, when we add all this stuff to it, I'm gonna clip it shorter. That may be fine, and we could add a button. So let's start gluing together our little bow. And I'm gonna pop some little things in here. I don't even know how much we need. Okay, if you're thinking that I make this look so easy, I really don't. Flowers are, these kind of flower things are not easy for me. My sister is a pro with flower arranging and that kind of stuff, but not me. So this looks too long. And I'm going to fiddle with this when we attach it. Okay, so I have all that leftover baby's breath and greenery that I'll put in my box of flower doodads. And let's see, grab a button in case we decide to do that. Looking for something that's not gigantic. Maybe that one. Maybe that one. Or this one. So let's bring our little piece of canvas stuck back over. I'm going to give it another shot of hot air before I actually put it in my hoop. And if I was not doing this live, I would let this sit a couple of hours and heat set it before I moved on to the next step. But you know, when you're live, you kind of have to make some adjustments. t-shirt and you have enough ink in this DIY kit to do that, you can make a tote bag, you can make a tea towel, any of those things with ink, with the black ink, you could totally make. And then you could reuse the stencil with some chalk paste for signs, for all kinds of different things. You could just do the beautiful little flowers. There's lots of options. Okay, so if you have not ever worked with an embroidery hoop, this is how they come. There's 2 pieces. And there's this little mechanism, this tightening thing at the top. And I'm just unscrewing it, not all the way though, so that there's a loose between my 2 pieces, okay? And the inside one is going to go on the back of your project. And then you're going to put the top one over the top. And I think I'm going to tighten it up just a little bit. Which way am I going? Use a little bit of glue to help myself out at the top and bottom because this piece of canvas duck is cut pretty snug to our project. So let's flip it over and let's give ourselves a little bit of help here before we start tightening anything. I'm just going to use a teeny little blob of glue right there. Pull that piece in. Yep. And then I'm going to pull my hoop out and put a little bit of glue on it. Here, and pull my fabric into that glue. The bottom. So if, and I have an idea to show you once we're finished with this part, but if I was making this for somebody else, I would make the, I would make it all look really spiffy by putting some fabric on the back to cover up this kind of mess that's going on the back. I'm tightening this up a little bit, and now I'm just going to pull my fabric a little bit tighter. And let's add just a little bit of glue right here and push the fabric into it. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Cinch it up good in a couple of places. Let's see. Oh, I see a bunch of hearts and stuff coming up. Oops, sorry. Oh, okay. Joanne says you can find small zip ties in all different colors at Harbor Freight. I love that store, but we do not have it in Georgia. I am pretty sure the zip ties that I had before that I loved so much were DiyDreaming brand, and I'm pretty sure that I got them at Joann's. So next time I'm over by the Joann store in my area, I just need to go in and grab some because I loved those the best. It's looking great, don't you think? Okay, so let's just do a little bit more glue and then we'll trim. And or I might just tuck things under for the time being. So we can move on to the next step. I'm just putting a little bead of glue along this edge right here. this inside edge. And then I'm pulling my canvas duck into it and pushing it down. And I am using a low temperature hot glue today because I don't want to get burned. And I do have glue on my fingers during this part of the process, so I would recommend low temperature hot glue for this project. When we were looking at my iPad, I'm so great with technology, that these DIY embroidery hoop kits come with a full-on stencil. They come with an embroidery hoop, they come with the fabric, they come with the pouch of ink, they come with the squeegee, and they come with, you know, all this doodad stuff. And I think, if I remember right, they were like $26, which that to me seems like a pretty good deal. Did I get everything? I think I did. Okay, now I'm just going to trim off the excess. And I'm not going to trim it super tight because I'm not for sure what I want to do with this. This would make a great Mother's Day gift. It would be a great gift for a friend. It would be a great gift for, oh my gosh, anyone that might be going through some struggles in their life, just to acknowledge that, yeah, it's not fun to be going through stuff, but maybe they were created for, in God's plan, in His perfect plan, for taking part in whatever their situation is. Anyways, I think it would be a super encouraging gift. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. Isn't that pretty? And here's my idea, and then we'll finish it up. I don't know if you have Dollar Tree Plus where you live, but I do, and I craft with these things, this size shape, all the time. Like this was a project we made on Christ and Crafting a couple weeks ago. Fear not, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah 41:10. And I showed how to do this painting technique with a palette knife. Anyways, it is the same thing as this. So if you have Dollar Tree Plus, grab some of these little square $3 wood panels. They're, what size are they? 12 by 12. Because you can do a lot of different things with them. If you don't have Dollar Tree Plus, you can get this exact same kind of thing at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, pretty much any craft store. It might not be quite as inexpensive as if you were buying it at Dollar Tree, but okay, so then I wasn't sure if this was going to fit in here, and it's not, but I could do some type of a treatment, string off, to my board, like paint it or stain it or do an all-over design on it and then attach this to it, and I think that would be lovely. You could also just put this in a book stand, in a little easel. Let me show you this one. This easel right here is a $3 easel from Dollar Tree Plus. And so you could set something out like this. They also sometimes have, do I have them handy? Yes, I do. Is this the same one? You know what? This is the one $1.25 easel. They also have some that are $3 that are a little bit nicer. So for $1.25 from Dollar Tree or Dollar Tree Plus, you could make something pretty like this. Okay, let's finish it up with our little kind of messy stacked bow that we made. And I'm going to put this up here. And I'll fiddle around with the arrangement of the ribbons, and I may trim them up a little bit more. This side definitely needs to be trimmed a little more. I think we'll just glue it right here on the top, and then I'm going to add a button in the center, or maybe I want to do a piece of lace. I think I want to do a piece of lace instead. Let's do this. Oh, but I did have a button idea that I want to show you, so stay with me. Don't go away just yet. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue over my zip tie, and I'm going to lay my little bit of lace over the top of that. And we'll glue it down in the back. Okay, so let's attach this, and then let me show you this other idea that I had, which I might still go through with since I kept my bow pretty plain. I'm going to glue my bow into this little space here at the top. Let's tighten this up all the way though. Fiddle with the pieces of the bow in just a minute. This almost looks like a wedding kind of an arrangement. But the other idea that I had was, if you love buttons like I do, you could, ooh, that would be so pretty. You could put some buttons in the center of your flowers. That would be lovely. Should we do it? What the heck? Let's do it. Okay, let me find some more that all look the same. I want the ones that look like this, that just have two holes in them. Okay, so there's 3 little flowers here. I'm just going to put a teeny little dollop of glue in the center of each one. And if you got this DIY kit, you could just go get some more canvas duck. I usually get mine at Walmart. It's super affordable. And you could make 3 more of these projects. You'd have to get your embroidery hoops, but those are not expensive either. You could probably make 3 more of this project with the amount of ink that came in the project box. So this is totally me, Queen of Cream. Is it you? Tell me what you think. Do you like this project? Oh gosh, I missed all those comments. When I am all finished, I will sit down and read everything that everyone has said. And I will get pictures. I'll clean this up, fluff up my bow a little bit more. What is happening right here? I'll fluff up my bow a little bit, get pictures. I'll put them here in the comments, as well as just on DIY Dreaming. But if you miss the beginning, what I want to tell you before I finish up here is if you've never stenciled and you wouldn't know what would be the first thing you should get, I recommend that you go to the DIY kit page on my website. My website's magnoliadiy.com. And just look. And when you look at each one of the kits, like there'll be an embroidery hoop kit option. Click the down button so you can see all the different stencil choices. The other thing is, say you have 2 or 3 friends or neighbors or sisters or exercise buddies, Bible study buddies, whatever, and you want to have a girls' night, you could order 3 or 4 of these DIY kits for yourself and your couple of friends. They could pick out their own stencil, but you could all be doing the same kind of basic project, and it would be just a wonderful night of fellowship, friendship, fun, creativity, doing a craft project where you have absolutely everything that you need. And then your friends, neighbors, workout buddies, Bible study friends, whatever they might be, daughters, they can take home that stencil, their leftover ink, whatever leftover doodads they might still have, and they can make some more projects at their house with what remains from the kit. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys. If you guys haven't already liked and followed DiyDreaming, but you like the kind of projects that I do here, take 2 seconds to do a this, it's a thumb, or a this, that's a heart, or say something to me in the comments, and check to see if you've liked and followed this page. Those things make it a little bit more likely that Facebook will actually show you what I have coming up next, and I have lots of good stuff coming up for, I'm still working on winter. Pretty soon we'll be moving more seriously into Valentine's Day and love. Then we'll be moving, we may do a few possible things for St. Patrick's Day. We'll be doing Easter, then we'll be moving into summer. Oh my gosh, so there's so many fun things coming up. And in between all of that, my thing is faith. So that's what interests me the most about all of this. So I will be doing lots of faith projects along the whole way, as well as on Sundays when I do Christ in Crafting. So I'd love to have you come back. Sprinkle this video to your social media if you have friends and family that you think would enjoy these kind of easy, I mean this was super easy, was it not? Craft projects. So feel free to sprinkle. Let me know if you want links for any of the stuff that we used for the DIY kits, or if there's a specific something or other that you wanted to, like these were some projects we did earlier this week. We pounded those pansies to have them kind of stain this watercolor paper. So that, I just showed you that as an example. If there's something that you wanted a direct link for from one of the projects that we've done here another day, let me know that too, and I can go grab that for you to make it super easy so you don't have to hunt it down. Thank you so much to everyone who did stars. I really appreciate that. I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. Be looking back later for close-up pictures. And I may pop back on for a super quick something if I can get everything all lined up for that. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.